welcome everyone to another D&D session. Well, it's not a D&D session in this case, it's a different game, but we're playing a tabletop RPG tonight. We'll be doing Mutants and Masterminds, a Green Ronin RPG from what is it, mid-2000s? It's a personal favorite of mine. It's a great supers RPG. It's like most of the games I enjoy running, very flexible, very modular. We have our lovely players for this evening. If you wouldn't mind introducing yourselves one by one.
I'm Sarah, and I am a therapist working primarily with the autistic community. And today I'll be playing a mind reader.
I am Morgan. I am a therapist who works primarily with the queer community, and today I will be playing someone with super strength.
All right. So recently, a little background, your two characters have developed superpowers. It's up to you to determine how, when, and why, but it's common practice that people with metahuman abilities kind of register themselves with the local government. Just, unregistered metahumans running around can cause quite a lot of devastation and commotion. So you guys are in like a small government office building, filling out paperwork, essentially. You're kind of sitting on some very uncomfortable plastic chairs with a clipboard, just kind of jotting down personal info. And you see a man in very thick glasses and a white lab coat enter. He's got one hand in his pocket and he says, hello, are you the metas going by He-Man and Mind Seraph?
Yes.
He kind of walks over to you individually, extends his hand, and he says, welcome, my name is Dr. Rishnek. I'm a metahuman anatomy professor. I study metahumans, but I'm also quite fascinated in people's day-to-day lives. I'm part of the research team here at the local Supers Institute, and I'm here to just run you through a little test, just to measure some of your basic abilities, if you're both comfortable with that.
Sure.
Excellent. It's great that you guys came in. Normally, people are kind of hesitant to register personal information about themselves, with government overreach and all these paranoid feelings about information technology these days. After all, Google is mining your data as we speak. But I promise you, we will be as discreet as we possibly can. Danny, could you get in here? And a young red-headed man in about his early 20s kind of walks in, and he's carrying like a Dunkin' Donuts container. He's got like a little styrofoam thing that fits multiple cups. He's like, yes, sir, how can I help you? And he kind of just wanders out. He doesn't look like he's really paying that much attention. He's like, could you just prep the hollow machine? I'm just gonna run these two through some basic tests, and then I'll meet you in the deck. And he's like, yes, of course. And he just kind of like awkwardly backs out. He kind of bumps into a door and then skitters out the right way. So Dr. Rishnek kind of just motions to you, and he's like, follow me right this way. Are you guys gonna follow Dr. Rishnek?
Sure.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a little hesitant about this machine. But
so do you want to try reading anybody's mind? I mean, that is your primary power.
I mean, I'd kind of like to know what his motives are. Yeah.
Okay. Give me a D20 roll and add your power level to the roll.
So power. You're talking about like the rank number that you put next to the. Oh, okay. That'd be a 23.
Okay. Yeah, you easily just blow through whatever mental defenses this guy had. You just absolutely obliterate them. This guy is genuinely just like a very well-meaning public servant. He actually does just want to kind of do his job and be as unintrusive as possible.
Okay.
So he takes you through to my apologies. I think I'd have this bookmark. He takes you into it's like an indoor gym basically, and it's got a couple of different machines lined up, and he kind of sets you down in front of this like big rowing machine essentially. It's like I'd first like to test each of your individual physical fitness. If you wouldn't each mind stepping up to this machine and just kind of give me a raw measurement of your individual physical capabilities. Each of you give me a strength roll.
Sorry, what kind of roll was it?
Strength? Yes. Okay.
7.
Me too.
Okay. So, Sarah, if you kind of like pull on the rowing machine, you do about an average job, maybe a little bit less. You don't put that much effort into it. The doctor just kind of like nods his head. He writes some things down on his clipboard. He-Man, you just like take it and you rip the thing off the handle. He says,
Oh, sorry about your rowing
hey."
machine.
He's like, oh, we buy them in bulk. Don't worry about it. Next up, he takes you to a this thing with like it's like a big, like I'm trying to remember what these things are called. Like you cook broccoli in them essentially.
Colander, I guess.
Yeah, it's colander.
Colander or
Thank you.
steamer.
It looks exactly like a steamer, but it's got like a bunch of wires sticking out of it. He just kind of motions to each of you to sit down, and he says, all right, we're going to place one of these on your heads, and this will determine your psychic potential. So each of you, do me a favor, roll a, give me an intellect roll. And for this, Sarah, you're going to add your mind reading skill to that.
28.
I got a 20.
Okay, wow. So yeah, you both light up the chart. In fact, Sarah, like the little fucking lights and knobs, like the little light bulbs start like blasting, they like explode as you put it on. He's kind of nodding his head. He-Man, you did so well. He actually thinks you have psychic powers. So he's writing down like psychic abilities on your sheet.
I don't know if that's to my benefit or not. I guess we'll find out.
Well, I mean, do you want to tell him? Like he's I've seen that you're both very powerful psychics. Like he said this out loud. Do you want to correct him?
No.
Okay. He thinks you have psychic powers. All right. So next up, he moves you over to it's like a like you ever been to a medieval like festival like a Ren fair and they have like the knife throwing board? He basically brings you to like a countertop that's like a shooting range, but it's got like a bunch of different weapons on it. It's got a handgun on one. It's got some knives, some axes, like a bunch of different stuff. And he's like, okay, I want you to try and hit as many targets lined up. They're going to kind of like pop up in synchrony. I need to see how many of each of these you get. So both of you roll me agility.
9.
5.
Okay, yeah. You
I
guys
have all brains and no brawn.
you guys are like tossing them, you're throwing them. You can't hit for anything, there's like a couple of the targets that like you're not supposed to hit and you like stab a baby in the forehead. And of course he's writing it down. He's like, okay, not everybody is gifted with hand-eye coordination. All right. I think we've got a decent amount. One last thing, we're just going to test some rudimentary like IQ and puzzles and stuff. Everybody give me a awareness roll.
13.
Okay, you do pretty well, Sarah. You're you're solving a lot of these. These aren't too hard. It takes you a minute, but you basically solve all the puzzles almost perfectly. He-Man, you're kind of stumped on a couple of these. Just, not everybody's a good puzzle person. But he kind of writes it down and he's like, all right, thank you very much. You have both given me a lot of very valuable data. I'm sure that this will be good in further research. I just have one last thing I'd like to do. This is kind of just a formal thing for anybody who wants to join like a Cape Society, one of these superhero teams or anything that are kind of running around these days. It'll really help you out if you want to get into one of these. It'll help us like sort your powers and recommendations. It's a very simple, very safe simulation of some sort of supervillain attack or major crime or disaster. If you'd like, we can just step right this way. Danny's already prepped in the holodeck.
Right.
Sounds good.
All right. So you guys are walking over to the holodeck. You see Danny's already there, and he's kind of like set the coffee thing that he had down on the control panel, and immediately Dr. Rishnek just kind of like freaks out. He's like, Danny, what are you doing? How many times do I have to tell you don't put the coffee on the thing? It's how many accidents have we had? And he points to this little like wall clock that's like workplace accidents, and it's like 2 days. He says, Danny, get that out of here immediately. No coffee in the holodeck. And Danny just kind of peers at him, picks it up, and just kind of like shuffles off. So he says, all right, if you both step into the main chamber, we can get you set up. Today's loadout seems to be Dr. Repulso. He's actually a real villain. He's kind of a local nuisance. He was a former plastic surgeon who was hideously disfigured, and now he goes around doing minor cosmetic damage to people on the street. Usually most of the stuff he does is completely reversible, and all of this is just a hologram. It's not real anyway, so you'll both be fine. If you'll step right this way, and he gestures you into the main chamber.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you both step in. It's a big gray featureless room. It's very big. It's like a warehouse-sized space, and it's all covered in this like bland gray tiling. Dr. Rishnek is just kind of adjusting some knobs, and he says, all right, we're going to be starting the test in 5 minutes. Just give me 1 sec to let the machine warm up. I will be right back. He steps out, and as he does, you see Danny, the intern, walk back in. He kind of like closes the door to the chamber. Give me an awareness roll.
15.
10.
He-Man specifically, you notice Danny is still carrying the coffee.
What is he thinking? I'm going to use my skills.
Give me a what you call it? Give me a power roll.
13.
Okay, you successfully deduce that Danny is not in fact an intern, but a supervillain known as the Gremlin. You know that his modus operandi is that he messes with technology. He likes to break things.
What are you doing, Danny?
He kind of like freezes as you acknowledge his presence. The tone in your voice alone kind of indicates that you're on to him. And he's like, oh, Dr. Ishnek just wanted me to come back in here and make sure that nothing happens with the machine. Yeah, that's it.
Didn't he say you weren't supposed to have your coffee in here?
Like,
Because He-Man totally told me that he had coffee.
I'll give you that. Yeah. He looks you dead in the eye as you say that, and you know, like one of those cats that kind of like paws something slowly off of like a shelf. He just kind of like reaches out and slowly pours the coffee over the control panel. Immediately, the thing starts sparking. A bunch of red lights flash in the control panel. Dr. Rishnek like rushes back in, and he's like, "What happened, Danny? What did you do?" And he just kind of starts laughing maniacally. "Fools! I am not Danny the intern. Danny the intern is tied up in a closet, and I have masterfully disguised myself as him." And he pulls off his shirt, and he realizes he's not wearing anything underneath, and he just kind of like awkwardly tries to put back on his ripped up shirt. He says, "I am the Gremlin. I have destroyed your fancy equipment. Your modern technology is nothing compared to me." And he's like, "God damn it." And he just kind of like immediately runs over to like a little security box. He starts calling up, security guards. And Danny immediately just kind of like runs out of the room. He just kind of like throws his arms behind him and he just zooms out. And he's like, "Oh, for crying out loud." All right, listen, I'm really sorry about this. This kind of thing happens every once in a while. We get a lot of weirdos around here. Just hang tight. I'm sure that the simulations won't become self-aware, and they definitely will not harass and or harangue you. Just give me 1 minute. And as he says this, of course, like little blobs and shapes start kind of like forming around you guys. The simulation has definitely begun, and there is something noticeably off about it. As you do, you notice a big guy in like white scrubs kind of materialize into the room. He's wearing a big full face covering, like a rebreather helmet, like a Darth Vader helmet kind of. And he points at you and he says, "Foolish heroes," and he's kind of like glitching, his face is a little blurred out for a minute. He says, "Face my wrath," and immediately like a bunch of tentacles start shooting out from underneath of his body. And he's like, "Oh, no. Dr. Richter's like banging on the, don't worry, we'll get you out of there as soon as possible. You just gotta hang on until we actually get the technicians down here to fix this." Do me a favor, roll for initiative. So essentially, you're going to add your agility, or it's already on there, your initiative bonus to that bit.
So you said it would be agility?
Yes.
Okay. 14.
All right. He-Man, your initiative.
Oh, 6.
Mine. Okay, so it's going to be Seraph, He-Man, and then the hologram Dr. Repulso. So, Seraph, what would you like to do first?
Well, I know this is a hologram, so there aren't any minds to read per se.
Well, give it a shot. If you want to try, I'll give you a power roll.
We'll go for it. 17.
Surprisingly, you actually read the hologram's mind. It's a little weird because it's basically like a sentient AI at this point almost, but you do manage to grab onto some fragments of what kind of passes for a mind for this creature made out of holographic stuff. And you deduce that this character is actually very insecure about their appearance. You might actually be able to overload the program if you can just get Dr. Repulso's mask off.
So you don't want anybody to see what you look like, huh, Dr. Repulso?
I am beyond appearance. I am a perfect creature.
So you say. But is that how you feel?
Are you going to try and like psych him out?
Sure.
All right.
I was more trying just to let He-Man know that he should, some ideas of things to do, but we'll try to psych him out.
Give me a presence roll.
18.
Oh man. Yeah, you really cut this guy to the core. He just kind of like all of his little weird tentacles just kind of start drooping, and he's like, I should probably see a therapist. I have a lot of deep-seated self-loathing that I really need to address. He's gonna suffer from a penalty to a lot of his rolls. He-Man, you are up.
I'm feeling stuck.
Say what?
I'm feeling stuck.
Well, I mean, you can do anything you want in this situation.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that is within your imagination's possibility.
Uh-huh. Can we tell that we're still inside the holodeck?
Yes, your characters are definitely aware that you are still in the holodeck.
Okay. Can I try and pry the doors open?
You can absolutely try and pry the doors open. You have super strength.
All right. So I'm going to try and pry the doors open then.
All right, give me a strength roll.
11.
You try to get these things open, but they're really slippery. You can't just seem to find purchase. Like the crack in the door is really thin, and you're kind of like clawing at it. You see these big like scratch marks across the door from your fingers, like prying into it, but you just can't quite seem to get it. All right, the hollow Dr. Repulso is going to go, and he's going to try. His tentacles are going to lash out, and he's going to try and grab onto you. Give me an opposed strength roll.
Is there something I should add to that?
Yes, your strength. Your strength. The number next to your strength.
Okay. So that would be 24.
Oh wow! Like he tries to grab you, and you basically just crunch his tentacles together, and like they're all like flailing around in your hand. But like you could basically hold these with your pinky. It's absolutely no issue to you. You just kind of like bat them away casually. Like you don't even care. All right. We are back at the top of the initiative order, and we are going to see what Seraph is going to do.
Disappear.
Oh no! Oh no! Seraph, why?
She'll be back.
Yeah, technical difficulties. Sorry, folks.
Quick pause. Shouldn't be long.
We take a quick pause just so that I can.
Yeah, let's do a quick be right back, and then we'll resume once Seraph returns. So we will be right back, folks. Stay tuned in. I'm going to turn on some music for you guys. Oh, there we go. Looks like
Go. Back.
Okay. Just have to turn it. There we go.
Sorry about that.
There.
No worries.
Yep. Just like
Are
that.
we still taking a quick commercial break, or?
Nope. She came back, so I went ahead and brought us back.
Never mind. All right. Seraph, I believe the turn is yours.
Okay, so what I missed, I must have spaced out for a minute.
Oh no. All right. So you stand in front of the doors to the hollow chamber, and you see the holographic Dr. Repulso is desperately in vain trying to grab He-Man, but He-Man is just having absolutely none of that. He is ably just waving around Dr. Repulso's tentacles, just casually batting them away with one hand as they're trying to pry the doors to the chamber open.
I try to distract him.
All right. What are you gonna do?
Well, the last thing he had to say to me was saying something about maybe he needed to see a therapist. So I'm going to ask him about what he thinks he needs to talk about with a therapist.
Okay, give me another presence roll.
And that's a nat 1.
Oh no! I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like in D&D where it's a crit fail, but yeah, he's oh, why should I talk to you? No one understands the horror within. We are all just ugly monsters. And another like bunch of tentacles like pour out of his armpit. All right, we're gonna skip back to He-Man.
I'm gonna. I would like to pick him up and throw him.
All right, give me a strength roll.
Okay. That's 16.
16.
Mhm.
Okay, so you know there's a bunch of these hideous tentacles like grabbing at you. They're you know getting all over your body, but you easily just like pop them off. You know, whatever. Yeah, this guy doesn't stand anything close to you physically. You grab him, you know, by the waist. You lift him off the ground, and what do you want to do?
Throw him.
All right, you just toss him against the wall, right?
Yeah.
All right, with a mighty heave, he goes flying across the chamber, and he hits the wall with a sickening crack. As you do this, as he does, he hits the ground. He seems to be crumpled in half, and as he does, he kind of pulls a thing from the thing. He kind of gets back up. He snaps in half, and a big mouth emerges from his middle half, a big banged maw. And it kind of squeals and shrieks as little nasty tongues come lashing out. And all the tongues now have little masks on themselves.
Ooh. Not sure I want to touch him again now.
All right. So that is your turn. So Dr. Repulso is he's been mutated into an even more grotesque monster, and he comes skittering towards you. This time he's not quite sure he wants to tangle with He-Man, so he's going to try and go after Seraph. Seraph, give me an opposed strength roll, or at your discretion, a agility roll.
18.
Okay. He tries to grab you, but you are just too quick for him. You manage to duck and weave because you're in his head. You know what he's thinking. So you easily manage to avoid most of his attacks. And with that, it is back to your turn.
Well, I'm gonna strike back at him. He came after me.
So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna punch him, kick him, bite him? What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna punch him.
All right, you're gonna knock him right across the face.
Yeah. Not very well. 5.
Oh no. Well, let's see. Yeah, no. He as you try to throw a punch at him, one of his little mouth tentacles like grabs you, and there's a little like mask head on the end of it, just kind of like hisses at you and like flings your arm away. And we pass the turn to He-Man.
Ooh. I'm going to. Oh, I really don't want to touch this guy with all the tentacles coming out of his mouth. I'm gonna grab Seraph and see if I can pull her away.
Okay. Yeah. Give me an agility roll.
18.
Okay. Yeah, you successfully managed to pull Seraph out of the writhing mass of tentacles and just awfulness. And you kind of interpose yourself between Seraph and Dr. Repulso. So, Seraph, you have a +2 bonus now to any roll if Dr. Repulso tries to target you specifically.
Okay.
All right. Dr. Repulso is going to go, and you are the easiest target. You are the closest object between any 2 points for him. So he's going to go after you, He-Man. He's going to try and grapple you again. Let's see if he manages to get it. Oh no, yeah, absolutely not. He's still trying, but you're just too strong for him. He's trying to get his tentacles over your face. Like he's like all these little nasty giblets are trying to get at your hair and your head, but you're just like spawning like, get off of me.
Yeah.
You guys kind of look over to the control panel and you see like a guy in overalls like desperately trying to like pop open the main circuit breaker, and you see Dr. Rishnek just kind of waving at you guys. Don't worry, we'll have it all fixed out in a minute. If you guys can just hold on a little bit longer, we promise it'll be open any minute. We are back at the top of the initiative order with Sarah.
I'm going to try to calm him down. Maybe try to kind of reassure him that he's doing okay.
Okay. Give me a presence roll with a +2 bonus.
$18.
Okay, yeah. So you literally just start talking to him, and the shrieking and the grabbing all of a sudden just kind of stops. There's like an awkward silence for a moment, and what do you say to him?
What are you so sad about?
I'm a monster.
Why do you think you're a monster?
Because I'm hideous.
Why do you think that?
Because I've spent my entire life, I've dedicated my entire existence to making people beautiful, and I'm disgusting.
What are you comparing yourself to?
I have worked on some of the most gorgeous faces in the world. There are super villains and superheroes who are purely known for their looks alone, and that's my handiwork. But I can't operate on myself. I can't fix the hideous monster I became after that accident.
What accident?
The accident that claimed my face.
Sorry, I'm new to this area. I don't know what accident you're talking about.
It was in the papers, didn't you read? The explosion at the fake mole plant.
Oh. What were you doing there?
I was looking into new synthetic parts for people's facial reconstruction surgeries. One of the tanks exploded and my face was covered in fake moles. Doctors said they couldn't remove them or they would bore into my brain and I would be vegetated safe for the rest of my life. So I'm forced to live with a face covered in moles. And he takes off the Darth Vader mask, and it's actually not that bad. It's like 1 or 2. It's like comparatively really not that bad.
I compliment him on how nice he looks.
Give me a presence roll at a +6 bonus.
10.
Hang on. Let's keep your fingers crossed. We'll see how this goes. Oh no, it's just not enough. He's just too self-loathing to accept the compliment. He just doesn't want to hear it. No, you don't understand. He puts the mask back on.
Maybe you do need to see that therapist you were talking about.
Maybe so, but I will claim you before I do. And then with that, we pass the turn to He-Man.
What are you going to do with us?
I will make everyone in the world disgusting and hideous, just like me.
It sounds like you have done a lot of beautiful art in your career. Why are you trying to undo that now?
Are you trying to like talk him down from the ledge, basically?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, give me a presence roll.
All right. 18.
Damn, with the presence rolls tonight, guys, you're killing it. He's really kind of opening up bit by bit. You're kind of like chipping away at that armor. Like it just kind of sits down. He just kind of like all the tentacles just kind of suck back into his body and just kind of sits down dejectedly. I'm sorry. What were you saying to him before?
I was saying that he sounds like he's had a great artistic career, and I'm wondering why he wants to undo all of that success now.
He kind of like hammer spaces out a bunch of photos of some of the clients he's worked on, and he just kind of begins wistfully kind of like sorting through them. And he's like, I really was a great surgeon, wasn't I?
Yeah, tell us about some of your best.
There's this one, the Green Flash, and he pulls out this like Brad Pitt looking guy with a little tiny like green slit mask, the ones that like absolutely don't conceal your identity, but all these characters wear them anyway. He's like, oh yeah, he was on the cover of Time magazine, and that was immediately after I worked on his face. But nobody remembers me for that now because I'll always be this disgusting monster. I can never go back to my regular life. I'm just too disgusting. Who would trust a man to work on their face whose own face was this disgusting?
But your skills don't change. You still have that ability.
Give me another presence roll.
Okay, hold on. I dropped my dice on the floor.
Oh no.
8.
Believe it or not, that still gets through to him on some level. He just kind of like stares at you both, and he kind of takes the helmet off again, and he says, you know what? I really do have some thinking to do. I guess I will maybe take a therapist up on talking about maybe working on my self-esteem. You guys have really helped me with this. Thank you so much. And with that, he just kind of like dissipates into a big shroud of mist and is gone. And just as you do that, the doors to the hollow chamber kind of like slowly open. And immediately, Dr. Rishnek kind of rushes. Oh my God, are you all right? Oh, Jesus, thank God. Oh, I can't tell you. I'm so mad we have to reset that clock in there with the holodeck malfunctioning. Oh, I'm so happy I'm so relieved you're both all right. You're not, neither of you were injured, of course, right?
Okay, I'm fine.
Pretty good.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I will absolutely put in a good word for any superhero team you plan to join in the future. Thank you both so much for your time. I really apologize for everything that happened. I'll put an ATB out on the gremlin. Hopefully he won't have gotten far. He doesn't seem to be that clever.
Would you like some help trying to find him?
Well, I mean, if you're offering, there is he did. We could try and track him down. I mean, you guys are supers, and clearly you're both competent individuals. Seeing that you overcame the broken holodeck, if you're willing to, absolutely go for it.
What do you think, He-Man?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Both of you give me a awareness roll.
15.
Awareness would be 13.
Okay. So like you guys kind of pop out of the chamber, you start looking around, and you immediately spot the gremlin's discarded coffee cups. You notice shreds of his torn up shirt, and you actually managed to track him down. He hasn't left the building yet. You kind of deduce that he's trapped in a broom closet right now.
was easy enough.
So easy, I gotta find power supply.
So, are you going to open the door?
Oh,
Yes.
heck yeah.
All right. So immediately, as you open the door, you are sprayed in the face with a mist of chemical cleaning solution. Give me a dodge roll.
Or
Oh no. Well, okay. So, He-Man, are you the one specifically opening the door?
yeah.
Okay.
Dodge. I had a 17, by the way.
Okay. So yeah, you immediately get sprayed in the face with like a big thing of Windex. You're momentarily blinded. The gremlin pops out of the closet. You know, he just kind of looks around wild-eyed. And he says, "You'll never take me alive, fools!" And he immediately just kind of starts sprinting off.
Really needs to lay off the coffee.
Clearly.
We run after him.
Well, I mean, you're blinded, so
I'm not running
quite
anywhere.
sure where he went.
Mm-hmm.
Seraph, are you going to give chase for the gremlin?
Yes.
All right. Give me a stamina or agility roll, your choice.
13.
13. All right, you managed to keep pace with this guy. You're pumping, you're slowly closing in on him, and he kind of whips around and he throws something behind him. Give me an give me a parry roll.
12.
Okay, whatever it is, you don't know, but you managed to jump over it as he does. And as you do, you jump onto him and tackle him. Give me a fight roll.
That one again.
Oh, no! Oh, no!
I think that guy's going to go in jail.
So you tackled him to the ground. You're just about to pin his arm behind his back. You know, you think you've got him, and immediately you hear two words ring out from his mouth: "Pocket sand!" And immediately he throws a handful of sand into your face. You clutch your eyes, staggering back as he immediately springs back to his feet and then continues running down the hall. At this point, He-Man, you have finally managed to, flush the whatever chemical he had thrown in your eyes, and you are back to being able to see.
Right.
These two haven't gotten far. Seraph managed to tackle him not too far down the hall, so you can still give chase if you want to.
Oh yeah, I'm going after him.
All right. Give me a stamina roll because you got to catch up to him.
That is a 7.
Oof. All right. So you turn the corner and the gremlin's gone. You're not sure where he went.
I yell really loud to see if she can hear me.
Oh yeah. He-Man's not that far away from you. You can't tell obviously because you're still rubbing grit out of your eyes. But
Yeah, fair.
but yeah, He-Man can hear you.
I'm gonna come back and make sure she's okay.
Okay, yeah. You take a minute, but Seraph's gonna be fine. Just taking a minute to flush your eyes out. You'll be all right.
Once I've gotten all the pocket sand out of my eyes, the gremlin's left me as well.
Yeah, you're not quite sure where he's gone off to, unfortunately.
Wow.
What are we gonna do, He-Man?
We need to. Have to go look for him. See if we can track him down.
All right. At this point, Let me see here. What time is it? I want to know if we have time for an extended chase sequence.
Yeah, about an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's see here. Give me an intellect check.
8.
He-Man.
Oh, it was 10.
Oh, my apologies. Okay. You're very lucky. You read in the paper recently about one of the Gremlins' recent capers, and you are actually familiar with a hideout he does often frequent. So you and Sarah kind of head off to Dunkin' Donuts in a kind of sketchier part of town. Like clearly, he loves this coffee. And you kind of like scope out the building. It seems to be an ordinary Dunkin' Donuts. Give me another intellect check. Or actually, I'm sorry, not intellect. Give me a awareness check.
11.
14.
Okay. You kind of scope out the place and you manage to find like a storm cellar door opening in the back, in kind of like a back alley behind the Dunkin' Donuts. It is padlocked though.
Oh, I'm just gonna pull that lock right off.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, give me a strength roll.
Ah! Ooh, 11.
Okay. Yeah, you just easily just kind of like rip it right off. You just it kind of rattles and you just kind of toss it behind you. So you pry the doors open and immediately just like the stench of unwashed meat hits you in the face.
Oof.
Oh,
Oh, He-Man.
I don't.
It's also
Yeah.
a little dark down there. You might not be able to see.
I pull out my phone and turn the flashlight on.
Okay. Are you gonna head down there?
I'm just gonna look and see what I can see from where I'm at right now.
Okay. From your current position, you see there's kind of like some discarded like takeout food containers. You notice that there's like some kind of dirty rugs down there, but from your current vantage point, you can't see much else.
What do you think, He-Man? Should we check it out?
I'm wondering if you can read what he's thinking.
Can I sense that he is around at all? Like, can I search for him since I've like read his mind before?
I'll let you probe for him, but at a disadvantage because you don't know where he is.
Okay.
So give me a power roll at -2.
20.
You know that he's like hiding underneath a table down there and he's terrified because he just heard you rip the door off of his secret hideout.
He's hiding from us, He-Man. You scared him. I think it's safe for us to go down and check on him.
Yeah. We could go down in the stinky hole, or we could wait until he comes out.
However,
He does eventually have to probably come out, but
one other detail I should mention, Sarah, before you go down there, you also know that his hideout is booby trapped.
oh yeah, no. Okay, I think you're right, He-Man. We'll just make some racket out here and see if we can get him to kind of lure him back out of his hidey hole.
So you're gonna try and flush him out then.
Yes.
All right. Give me a presence roll.
19.
Oh wow! You literally just kind of yell down to him, Gremlin, we know where all your traps are. We're gonna come down there and get you, just at the top of your lungs, and you can almost hear the fudge drop out of his shorts. He immediately just kind of like trips over his own feet, scrambling up, and you just immediately grab him by the scruff as he comes out.
Nice job.
You're not done yet though. He's still full of tricks. Give me a fight roll. If you both kind of want to like dogpile on top of him, add a +4 bonus to both of your rolls.
I think we should do that.
Like that.
So that would give me a 16.
25.
Okay, yeah, you just cream this guy. You see him reaching for the pocket sand. You slap his hand like, not this time. All right, yeah, you've successfully apprehended the gremlin. You kind of look around. You manage to get like a pair of zip ties, and you kind of cuff him. You take him back to the institute, and they take him into custody. Of course, Dr. Rishnek shakes both of your hands, and he says, "Thank you both very much. You not only apprehended an actual supervillain, but you've helped us incalculably with further research into metahuman physiology and research. You are both to be greatly commended. Thank you both very much for helping me out today."
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And that concludes our adventure, unfortunately.
Oh my gosh, you guys killed it. Oh, wow.
You guys have fun?
It
Yes.
was fun.
You guys had some crazy good rolls.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did.
yeah.
Yeah, we did.
And that leads to a campaign going quicker than anticipated.
Like, and I had garbage behind the screen. Like, literally, I was rolling 2s, 3s, 1s.
Oh.
It was not your night for dice karma.
Sometimes the dice just come down. That's how it is.
Yeah.
So fun.
I liked this.
Yes.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
All right.
Definitely.
Well, good.
I was just gonna say, definitely. I think of all the ones we've played, this one and Mora last week are probably the two that I could see being useful for me the most.
Oh,
I have to do
absolutely.
some more research.
Okay.
If you'd like. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, could you expand on that a little bit, just from your initial first thoughts on it?
I think both of them being kind of set in a little bit more real world or like not necessarily real world, but like easily accessible settings. Working with the kiddos that I work with in the autistic community, I feel like having things that they can like connect with a little bit better for setting up some of the social navigation areas that we're working on. I think that these two would be pretty easy to like adapt to that, those treatment goals.
Excellent. Did you have any teachable moments for you tonight, Morgan?
Oh, I
Anything
was
that
just
stuck out to you?
thinking about how, most of my work is with the queer community, and a lot of the work that we do is identifying this like difference from what other people expect you to be as being like a hidden superpower, and so I can totally see people relating to this or being able to use this in a way that really affirms that that superpower.
That's good. No, I like that. I like that thought process on that. Well, guys, DJ, did you have something to add here at the end?
Well, that's what I like about games that are more modular. Like, you can always insert yourself into them. That's why I really like games that are customizable, that really kind of let you change your face and be whoever. And that's why I usually try to encourage people to play these. It's affirming to be able to kind of put yourself into a role, especially when the role is custom tailored to who you are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. All right.
But also,
Mhm.
these are also just really flexible systems too. You can do a lot with them. There's a lot of different options, you know, in terms of setting, in terms of just places you can go with them. I guess Green Ronin will write me a check for the glowing review that I'm giving to them. But yeah, thank you guys both for playing. I will leave links to the source material so that you can check it out for yourselves if you so desire. And I really appreciate you coming out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
All right. Good night.
Oh.